save the best till last. We had a very creative and pleasing group to work with, and it was very nice to be part of them. I hope that I will do them justice, us justice. The richness and potential of us as a community is in our human relationships, and the heart of the order is the local group, which may be a colossal strength, it may be a disastrous weakness, we all know that, but it is the heart of our community and offers us a way of pastoral care, of knowing and encouraging each other. But what it exemplifies in that is the value of our relationships with one another. That we are all loved and called into this community as brothers and sisters. Our common humanity is both our strength and our weakness. And it's as we offer each other pastoral care and companionship that we are enriched. Whether we're meeting together at local level, area, cluster like this, or as a province. Whenever we meet together, we enrich our common life. So how do we build up that community, and what structures help us do that? We asked for clear and simple communication, not jargon-laden, not rushed, not pages and pages of information. The trouble is that if someone takes up an office for their 6 years, 3 years in the order, whether that's area convener or Jamie's new role, which I forgot what it's called, minister, provincial minister, we're all anxious to start with. And we all want someone to tell us what to do. And then when we get all that information that somebody else who's anxious has told us exactly what to do, we think, well, we don't want to do it like that. So we want something that's really simple and outlines a role, but that leaves us flexibility to interpret at a local level. What works well is when there is adequate handover. Dying on the job is not allowed because you haven't handed over properly. But occasionally that sort of thing, mistakes do happen. It's best if we can allow a good handover time between officers at all levels. It's best when we can share good practice. We're all colleagues together. And if you're taken on a new role and you're anxious about how it works and you feel you haven't got enough information, you can ask. There's colleagues in the cluster and across the province that we can get in touch with and find out, sharing good practice with one another. And there's some suggestions of within clusters, officers meeting together. What was quite important, I think, is that we take personal responsibility for our life together. There was a time in my life when I couldn't keep the structures. I had young children and found it very difficult to get to local meetings until the local group said, well, that's that, we're not meeting until you come. Now, that's not always the way to help an older or housebound person, but the companion system has been talked about at some length and is a good idea. I've repeated myself on that sticky. Thank you for the sticky, so have a good idea it was. That's lovely. So we need to recognise and rejoice in our humanity, sometimes just laughing at our anxiety and being open to learn from one another, recognising that what we might be desperate about in the first year of our office is very different from what worries us in the 4th or 5th year of doing things. I think we've heard a lot about the website and recognise that somebody has taken that in hand and it is being reviewed appropriately. And we can trust the people who like that sort of thing to do it as well as they possibly can. I'm sure we can complain about it afterwards, but that's why websites exist. The idea, really, of taking our responsibility for the structures we're part of overcoming our anxieties and I keep going on about anxieties, I don't know what it is about standing up here in front of you all that causes that, and of being willing to learn from one another. We came up with the need for soft walls, that is a bit of flexibility in the structures, and porous boundaries so that we can learn from one another. but above all, to go on remembering that we are all dearly loved, and our call is to love and to have joy and peace between each other. So when community grates a bit and things don't run quite as well as we would do it, we can probably find room to forgive and suggest a better way. Thank you.